Welcome back to another video of the Husker Breakdown. So today, I am going to be giving my reaction to the Nebraska football spring game. So obviously, the red team beat the white team 22-17. As it kind of says right here, Huskers cap solid spring with red-white game. Okay, so Nebraska. They didn't do it last year, so they done their first red-white spring game for the first time since, I think, 2023 or 2024. So yeah, 2 seasons ago. Okay, so I'm going to give you my honest opinion of each of the positional breakdowns. So, without any further ado, let's get straight to it. So, let's just start off with the quarterback room. Okay, so you had Anthony Calandria, and you had TJ Lateef, and you had Daniel Kaelin. Now, Daniel Kaelin, I haven't seen him do a whole lot because, he didn't really see the field at Virginia, I don't believe. And then I never saw him play at Nebraska. But, okay, so I think he's a sophomore, junior. I'm not exactly sure on that. But anyway, point is, he's not, like, the most experienced quarterback, okay? But I think he showed improvement since his last season. So I think he seems like he could have potential, but he definitely seems like the least experienced like quarterback of those top 3 quarterbacks that played. Then you had Lateef, and Lateef, I mean, he seems solid. Okay, Lateef definitely seems solid. I mean, he's quick, and that's also something that Calandria has in his repertoire. But we'll get to that later. But Lateef certainly showed like he definitely has potential to get that QB1 role. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, and if you remember, in his starts in Nebraska, he was 1-3. He started off with that 28-21 win over UCLA, then that 10-37 blowout loss at Penn State, and the home route 16-40 loss against Iowa, and the terrible bowl game loss to Utah 22-44. So, Nebraska Nebraska would be in luck, I think. Or it would make Nebraska look better if I think Lateef was our quarterback 1. Because I think Lateef's a good quarterback, but that makes you go straight to Calandria. I think Calandria, in my mind, he probably will be the quarterback 1 because he has the most experience. Because, I mean, Lateef only played 4 games. Started 4 games as a true freshman. He played in a couple other ones. He did play against USC. He played in a couple of those non-conference games. I think, what was it? Houston Christian and Akron. So he doesn't have a whole lot of Big Ten experience. But then again, neither does Anthony Calandria. Anthony Calandria, he played at UNLV. Then he played at Virginia. So he's at his 3rd different college. And that's Nebraska. He's a senior, so he'll only be with us for 1 year. I do believe Calandria is a solid quarterback. He showed some good plays. He got some good running. He's quick. Like I said, I was going to get to it a second ago. He's definitely quick. And I think he definitely could show us the old Nebraska fashion offense where just the RPOs, and I think also the typical Matt Rule offense was like those read options, whatever. Kind of like, but Matt Rule certainly likes to run the ball, but he does have a coordinator that does like to throw. But I think either way, we're going to like what we see from Calandria. But he has to work on the turnovers because he does kind of turn it over, and the Big Ten is hard. And the thing with him, with Calandria, is he's only about 6 foot. They list him as that, but he's probably a little shorter. But anyway, if I take this long to get to about one position, it's going to be taking forever. So I'm going to try to go quicker here. Okay, so next let's go to the running back room. Okay, this is going to be, I think, very, very quick. Jamal Rule is that freshman. This recruit we got. He's a beast. He's absolutely amazing. He's a playmaker. He reminds me of what Emmett Johnson was when he came his first season. I think Jamal Rule is going to be a very major asset for Nebraska on the ground game. Mekhi Nelson and Connor Booth. Connor Booth showed some decent plays. And I mean, like, even like Mekhi Nelson had a couple good runs. I mean, they can all just improve, and I think Matt Rule really has to trust the development at this point because, I mean, hey, whatever, E.J. Barthel, he certainly, I mean, he made Emmett Johnson good, so hey, who am I to complain? But, so, running back room, I think, so, to sum it up, I should say this, should have said this about the quarterback room also. Quarterback room looks solid. Definitely a cheaper quarterback room than last year's. I'm not, with all due respect to Raiola, but it's cheaper without him. But So quarterback room looked solid enough. Running back room looked young, but I think it has potential. But let's move to the wide receivers and tight ends. So wide receivers, this is the spot where I think Nebraska will have its strength, because you got Jacoby Barney, you got Isaiah Hunter, you got Quinn Clark, but you also got Quasi Gilmer. And in my mind, Quasi Gilmer was probably one of the best transfers Nebraska got. Maybe this is a hot take. That is my hot take for the day. But if you think about it, okay, when he played against Nebraska these last 2 years, particularly in the game that I'm thinking of is the one 2 years ago at Memorial Stadium where we got upset against UCLA. They should not have beaten us, but they came into Memorial Stadium and beat us. And they beat us. It was a close game. Ended up being a 7-point game. But Quasi Gilmore was a major reason why we lost. He was speedy. He could get separation with the secondary. And unfortunately, Ethan Garbers, the quarterback for them at the time, made us pay. And so did Quasi Gilmer. And that's ultimately why, in my mind, that Nebraska lost to UCLA. Now, that wide receiver core is absolutely, I think it's going to be phenomenal. I think if they keep on developing, they keep on improving, I think they should be pretty good. Now, tight ends, it's just a spring game. So, it's just one test that I've seen for almost all of these tight ends. Except Lindenmeyer. Lindenmeyer, he's a senior. He looks solid. He was good last year. Give him credit. He looks fine to me. I think he should hopefully keep improving. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll definitely just have to wait and see. Hopefully they do all improve, because tight ends are definitely an essential piece of the game. Anyway, moving on. O-line. Okay, so O-line. No more Donovan Raiola. Got Jeep Wade. To me, I am glad that we have Jeep Wade. Let's put it that way. I'm trying to put this in the simplest terms possible. Because our O-line looks definitely better than last year's. And you look at the transfers we brought in. The first name that comes to my mind is Tree Barblade, that guy from Georgia Tech. That's the first name that comes to my mind. You also got Pritchett there still. You keep Justin Evans. I can't remember all the other names, but the point is, Nebraska's O-line should be able to do its job and live up to the old Nebraska standards of the O-line back in 1995, when they never gave up a single sack. Now, granted, Tommy Frazier was a pretty mobile quarterback, but still, not giving up any sacks is pretty impressive. Still, they're probably not as good as that, I don't think. But hey, I think they can play like a good O-line, and they should be able to play as a good O-line. I look forward to seeing their progress. We will wait and see what happens. I sure as heck hope that they're good, because our O-line was awful last year. It was. And teams like Minnesota, Iowa, they made us pay for that. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to the defense. So let's start off with the defensive line. Okay. So of all the positions that are in football, and of all the positions that I will be talking about, the D-line is the only one that I'm going to be able to say that is awful. It was still bad. They kept giving up awful runs. Terrible runs, okay? It was actually bad. I was not happy to see that, because I was hoping that it would be better. Now, you have gotten some recruits like Dylan Berryman. You got Anthony Jones Jr. You got, among other names, but the D-line, you're hoping that Corey Brown is able to develop these guys over the summer, like Van Poppel, Gabe Moore, Winery. You're hoping against hopes that this D-line can be developed. Because, look what Terrence Knighton did to Ty Robinson and Ash Hupmaker in the course of the summer. Granted, they were sophomores, going to be juniors, but it's time that they step up. They need to step up. We can't be a bad D-line. Our trenches, Big Ten football is won and lost in the trenches. That's a pretty fair statement. But anyway, D-line was tough. Sorry, they were not that good. They're terrible. They made Connor Booth and teams and running backs that, yes, while they are talented, but they should not be able to just get open runs like that. But anyway, moving on to the defensive backs. So the defensive backs, in my mind, And this, once again, this is Rob Orch's defense, so it's definitely different than John Butler, and I think it definitely going to be better than John Butler's. I think you had, I think there are multiple good things about the defensive backs. I mean, I think players like Owen Chambliss, for one, showed us that he's a good player. And I mean, yes, he came from San Diego State, but I mean, he was wanted by like Alabama. He was wanted by like Texas, but he wanted to follow his coach, and I think he will do well at Nebraska. And I think Nebraska is gonna reap a benefit because of that talent coming to Nebraska. Probably one of the more, definitely one of the more like essential transfers on the defensive side. I mean, there were other names too. I mean, I thought Donovan Jones did well. I mean, I'm kind of getting to the secondary there, but like, I thought there were like Donovan Jones. Like, I thought there were like K. Petchuk. These guys, they all did fine. So, anyway, yeah, the defensive backs were like in like linebackers. They were good in my mind. I thought they all did fairly well. They definitely look about it. They should be able to pick up right where they left off last year. Hopefully, saying hopefully, because we did lose some good players like Deshaun Singleton, and we lost Hartzog on the portal, although he was more of a safety, but still, you did lose a good amount of important players in my mind. So, but anyway, moving on to the safeties. So that's more like Rex Guthrie. Who else is back there? Just among other names, don't remember all of them at the moment, but I did see there were multiple good like plays I did see from the safeties that they were able to like stop our receivers from getting massive chunk plays through the air. To me, that was good because, I mean, Rob Orch shows, yeah, he can have a good defense, and I mean now that he's got the talent, like in the skill level of these players that Matt Rule has already like recruited, or he's gotten through the portal. I think he's gonna be able to make our defense do well, and he's Rob Orch is a very good defense coordinator, at least at San Diego State. I mean, he is very good, and he's a very rapid like defensive like improvement coach, if that makes sense. So yeah, defensive back safeties, our defense look, I would say, solid except for the D line. Now if that can be improved, I will look forward to it. But if that's like the one caveat, otherwise everything else looks solid. But anyway, last but not leastly, these special teams, they looked. I mean, Brett Maher. I mean, he coached a couple years, like assistant special teams coordinator. Now Brett Maher was a good punter and kicker at his time in Nebraska. I think Brett Maher could definitely do solid. I'll put it that way. I think that Brett Maher. I think he's young, but I think there's a chance, but only a chance, that we can have a solid special teams, because it'd be nice to be able to have that again. To have that, like that support where we had so many good punt returns and stuff. Because that was one thing that was very good last year about our team. About probably the only consistent thing. But, Kananen, he looked good. Our new long snapper did. Punty, Archie Wilson, solid enough. I mean, they all look good enough. But, yeah. So, anyway, overall, I mean, in a nutshell, just to wrap it up, I think Nebraska overall should be a better team this year than last year. And I think Nebraska's improved in all those specific, like, positions compared to last year, except for the D-line. But that, I mean, of course it was, like, split, like, so, like, your starters were split, but, however, your twos can't be that far away from your ones, hopefully. You need some solid depth, but we will see what goes on. I'm hoping that our D-line can be improved. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.